everyone. This morning it's a little bit brisk, but I thought I would just bring out my camera because pop you up there. I am just about to go shopping just to get some staple pieces for winter, which I've been wanting to get for a while. The other day my friend told me there is this sale currently on at this jeans shop, and I'm in desperate need of some new jeans coming into winter. Well, it is winter actually now. Oh, but I thought I would just pop into that shop and pick up a couple of jeans. Hopefully I'll try a few on and see if, you know how jeans are just like hard to kind of find ones that really suit your body, I find anyway. So stay please. I'm just going to pop into there, hopefully find one or two pairs that I can just kind of rotate during winter, because I've got about one pair of jeans right now and then the other one's just kind of getting really, oh my god, I'm gonna talk to you later. Parked now. Anyway, I don't even really remember where I was going with it. Basically, I'm in desperate need of some new jeans, so I just thought I'd come out while the sale was on and have a bit of a look. Just kind of having a real cozy day. I've got day off work, so it's like rainy. I'm not sure if you can see. No, you can't. It's kind of rainy. All I feel like doing is doing a little bit of shopping, maybe some baking later on, and chilling out on the couch and watching a movie. Alright, these are the first pair of jeans that I've got. These are on sale from $80 down to $30, which I thought was pretty good. I just feel like changing rooms are so unflattering. Like, I'm not sure if I like them or if they're like a little bit unflattering or if they're flattering or if it's the lighting. I love this one. Oh. And of course, this is the only one that's not on sale. But I love it so much. It's literally like me in a top. It's so nice and it's so comfortable and it'd be so good for winter. Ended up just getting the jeans just because I knew that I liked them. I knew that I would get so much wear out of them during the winter, and because I am close to the beach, I thought I'd just come and look at it. It's a bit overcast, but it looks beautiful. Anyway, it is time to head home now. I'm starting to get a bit hungry, so I'm excited to make a nice lunch. I don't know what I'm gonna make it actually. All day I've really been craving this apple pie that I made the other night. It's like a healthy apple pie. It's like dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free. It's like everything free, but it tastes really, really good. And so I'm thinking that I'll go home or maybe go to the shops. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Anyway, I'm thinking I will head to the shops and pick up some ingredients for that and make it for the family for dessert tonight, because it's so good. And on these colder, like rainy days, I just feel like a warm apple pie is just exactly what I feel like. My arm is getting sore, so I decided to swap. But yes, I hope this vlog isn't like boring at all. I just was in the vlogging mood today. Sometimes I just wake up in the morning and just have an urge to vlog, so I just thought I'd vlog a little relaxing day off work, my life kind of thing. So yeah, hope it's not too boring. But the recipe tonight, I'll film like the recipe, and it's starting to rain really heavily now. On made it to the car literally just as it started pouring rain. Exciting part of the video. It is a while later now. It is nighttime. I have bought all the ingredients for the apple pie. It is after dinner and I'm so excited to make this dessert because it's so cold tonight, and this recipe is so good on the colder nights. You just want something warming and comforting. So anyway, what you're going to need for this recipe, where is it? So I've written out a little bit of a method and ingredient list and everything. I have made this recipe once before, however I didn't have all of the exact ingredients that I did have last time, so I've altered it a little bit, but it's still, I'm pretty sure, going to taste even better this time. So yes, basically what you're going to need is, okay, so the first thing you want to do is put a little bit of water in a kettle and just heat it up until it's like not 100% boiling, but just like quite hot. And while that is doing its thing, we just want to get a little bowl out. So you want to use anywhere between 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup of medjool dates. I've only got 5 here though, just because I was snacking on them and I didn't realize that we needed more. So you just want to break them apart and take the little seeds out, and then once your water is boiled, you just want to pour it in with the dates, just so they really like soak up and become really soft and really easy to blend. And then they can just go off to the side until we need them in a few minutes. So you're going to need some sort of food processor. I'm just using a Thermomix because I'm lucky enough to have one in the family home, but you can use basically any kind of blender that you want that will blend up nuts and dates and all of that. Basically what we are starting off with is making the base of the apple pie. So we're going to start off with 1 cup of pecans. I've only got 1/2 cup, so I'm just gonna measure out 2 of those. All my recipes are very rough, so you know, if you want a little bit more, feel free to add a little bit more. 1 cup of walnuts, 1/2 cup of some almonds. I'm just using slithered almonds because that was all that I could find, but you can just use normal almonds because it'll blend up to the same anyway. 1/2 cup of hazelnuts. Now 1 whole cup of some shredded coconut. 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. This just helps to bind it all together nicely. 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup, and you want to make sure that there is no excess sugar or anything in it. The best maple syrup is when it just says Canadian maple syrup on the back. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a little pinch of salt. That is what your mixture should be looking a little bit like. Then what you want to do is just blend it all together until it makes a nice like crummy consistency kind of thing. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the consistency that you want for your base. Yeah. Oh, yum. It just tastes like caramel and cinnamon and amazingness. Oh, I completely forgot to add in the dates. All right, well, next add in your dates, which to be honest, I think the amount that I have will probably be perfect. So I've just blended that again with the dates now, and it's basically exactly the same consistency. This mixture is so hard not to just eat. Oh my god. Then you just want to get a little cake tin. I'm just using this little round one, and then fill it with some baking paper. Then you just want to scoop your base mixture into the tray, and then just using your hands, I find that wetting them under some warm water makes it so much easier to do this. Just flatten out the base, making sure that it's kind of all even along the bottom and then up the sides a little bit as well. As you can see, I've just kind of flattened it down and then brought it up a little bit along the edges as well. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're not really going to see any of it anyway. And then while we make the filling, you just want to pop this into the fridge just to set a little bit and just kind of to keep form until you put the filling in. Basically what we are making is a caramel sauce that the stewed apples will kind of sit in, and they soak it all up and they just taste amazing. So for the caramel sauce, you are going to need 2 tablespoons of tahini, 8 tablespoons of maple syrup, a little pinch of salt, and 1 cup of canned coconut milk. Stir it all around and then basically bring it to the boil and then simmer it for 10 minutes. Okay, so the hardest part is over now. Basically, now what you want to do is cut up about 4 apples. These are quite large apples, so I'm using about 4. Or if they were smaller, I'd probably use around 5. Basically how you want to cut up these apples is just in really thinly sliced pieces so they cook really quickly. They don't have to be perfect in any way, as long as they're nice little thin slices. Once all of your apples are cut up in little thin slices, you just want to add it all into quite a big pot. Fill it so that it kind of covers the apples with water, and then put it on the stove for, I only want to say probably like 3 to 4 minutes, just so the apples start to soften. However, then we are going to bake the whole apple pie together, so your apples will soften a little bit when they're in the oven as well, but you just kind of want to start the softening process. Do these a little bit so they get a little bit soft, and then we can put it all together and all in the oven. Now that the apple and the caramel sauce is all cooking away, now you want to preheat your oven to approximately 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, so my caramel is thickening up very nicely. I'm very pleased with how that's going. My apples have been sitting in there for a few minutes, and so they're getting a little bit soft. And also my oven is now almost preheated. Grab out your base from the fridge and it should be nice and firmed up now. Then you want to grab out a big mixing bowl where you're basically going to put in your caramel sauce and the apples together and then mix them all together. So I'm just starting off with pouring my caramel sauce into the bowl. I know it smells amazing. Then you just want to drain out all of the hot water from your apples. Then you just, oh, there's a hair in there. Mix it all around. Grab out your base and just pour it all in. Okay, last step is basically just to decorate it. So I'm using a little bit of the shredded coconut, some crushed pecans, and then a little sprinkle of cinnamon, or a big sprinkle of cinnamon. So that is the finished product before it's going in the oven. As you can see, it's just basically like a warm, like, doesn't that just look warm even without being able to smell it, which, if I may add, it smells incredible. But it just, oh, it looks so like comforting, you know what I mean? I don't know. It is time to pop it in the oven. So it is all preheated now. I'm just going to pop it in. And then you want to bake it for around 30 minutes, I want to say. You can kind of check it maybe every 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure that it's not burning, and you can adjust the temperature slightly. But around 30 minutes, I want to say, for it to be completely baked all through. I've been putting it off all day, but I think it's time to do my workout. So while it's baking, I'm going to do a workout, and then I'm going to have a shower and freshen all up, and then it's going to be the best thing knowing that I've worked out and that I'm all fresh and cozy, and then I can eat my apple pie, which I'm very excited about. Workout is done, face mask is on, hair mask is in, and, oh, and the biggest, comfiest, warmest clothes that I can find are on as well. Apple pie is done. It smells amazing. I've let it cool down a little bit, and now it is time to take it out of the little tray, which will, moment of truth. Will it stay together? Yay! Worked so much better than my last one that didn't even stay together. I'll show you a little close up. You can see it did like get a little bit burnt around the edges, but that just adds extra flavor. Now all there is left to do is cut it up and see if it all stays together, which it might not, but it's perfect. I'm going to serve it with this vanilla bean coconut yogurt, which tastes incredible with it. The outside, you know how it like burnt a little bit? It has this like caramelly burnt taste, and it tastes so good. So that is my healthy apple pie recipe. It is sugar-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, everything free, as I said before, and it tastes incredible. I really hope you have enjoyed, and I really hope you give it a go. It is pretty easy, like there's not a lot to it, and it just tastes so good, and it tastes like warming and like kind of like comfort food, but really it's not naughty at all because there's only clean ingredients in there. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. It was kind of like a little bit of a vlog and a little bit of a baking video in one. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and would like me to do kind of baking and vlogs in one videos, because I feel like sometimes just baking videos get a bit boring and just vlogs getting a bit boring, but if you have both of them together, they're just like a bit more interesting. So let me know. I post videos every Tuesday and every Friday, so subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!